I want to finish my street cred.
Wait now.
This boy that is the organization just leave plates.
No, wait, hang on.
Next conversation that I would like to have, and this just leads into talking about marriages and relationships and experiences.
We should be having tea on this couch.
Don't
you can't
worry.
be bringing me here and there's no tea.
I'd not bring you here when our home. When
But
our
you
house.
brought me here. I was doing something else.
We brought ourselves
You dragged me
together.
down here. You know where I was when you brought me here. Please,
life,
prepare a table before me.
This conversation is good.
How do you manage conflict?
How do I manage conflict?
Yes.
It's the spirit of God, though. Especially when you have a wife like my wife.
What does that mean? I don't
You
understand.
have to manage it with the spirit of the Lord.
I don't get. You just finished telling the whole nation that I have a kind and good heart.
I also said
now
that
you are
everybody.
saying that
I also said everybody has. Nobody's perfect.
I don't understand.
So, but not those we have conflict. We have conflict. But
I
you know,
have
for
conflict. You used to
the
fight
funniest
yourself.
thing, you're stealing my line. You are the one that has to fight yourself. You are the one that has to
You're
fight
fighting yourself.
First is that I think since we moved into this new house, and I've been here for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
We've actually not had a major conflict. Of course, we'd have
We've not had
arguments until this last conflict that we had now.
No, but we're able to solve it now.
And
That
but
was
we're
not even
still
major conflict now.
It wasn't as major as what we've had in the past.
Yeah.
At least I can remember two major conflicts
There's only
we've
one
had.
I know.
There's only one that you want to stick to.
It's not one. No, yeah,
Which
yeah.
one
I
is
remember
that
that one. Jesus.
Which one?
I will not tell you.
No, talk. Yes, now and that one came to my mind. So, but we are able to
Jesus.
settle.
No!
We were able to settle that fight
one,
quick.
I was a brat. Even
Yes.
with myself.
So you see, that's
Which
what
one is
happens.
yes? Why you
were-
No,
Let me give you
I
this
was,
gist.
no, please.
Let me
Now.
give you
He's
this
our
gist.
friend. Oh.
I know, but still, I'm going to say it in a way. Essentially, right?
No, I don't agree. No.
I'm going to say it.
Maybe no.
Essentially, what happened was my wife was supposed to travel, right? And she came to meet me to say, oh, she wanted to travel, all of that. Ticket money never reached. We can support. I'm like, okay, no while another. I'm excited for you. You know, anything that has to do with like your progress, you advance. I'm all for it. So, I mean, it was Anna friend, and on her friend's part, there were some, issues, and so she started to get angry, and all of a sudden, she's using me as scapegoats for the anger, borrowing for me.
No, that's not it.
Which one is that's not it?
Now let me.
And I'm
explain.
like, bro, fam, I'm supporting you in this whole conversation.
No, hang on.
I'm your alibi here.
Hang on, that's not it. Let me explain.
When they started talking, hang on, let me
explain.
scam.
So, because when I'm faced with a challenge, I can see how to solve it in different dimensions. Now, when there's a challenge and I'm unable to solve it, like I can't see a way forward, it kind of like agitates me. So that was the situation.
Yeah, but that's what it is, and that's why marriage is
I wanted a solution.
That's why marriage is about.
And I didn't
people.
think my husband was giving me a solution.
You see the problem with women. This how women are complicated.
I'm not complicated.
You know, there are some. I think it's all women.
I'm
you know,
very
sometimes that women, when you bring their problems to you, they will say, I don't need solutions. I just want you to listen to me. Now, so how do we know when to do what?
Read the room, bro.
Read the room. I was reading the room, and I was
not reading the room.
Baby, I was actually.
If you're reading the room, you would have gone to say, baby, come and have a bottle of Coca-Cola. Drink this one first. Chew cashew nuts.
No, but
relax.
I was calming you down, but you were taking it out. Okay, at the end of the day, why did you not come and apologize?
Because I know that
Exactly, because at the end of the day, I now told you that, baby, I don't understand. I'm supporting you.
Sorry, it's
I'm by
okay.
your
You
side.
like fights more than quarrel. Come on.
But anyways, I think that, I mean, conflicts will always be conflict, and this is just because, I mean, the last conflict we had, in which I felt like was something that was been a while.
But wait, so why are you making you look at it? For my house, we used to have conflict every day.
No, you know, like we used to have conflict. I'm just saying that.
You're like this, we moved your man, any conflict.
But it's a good thing. Then soon, like when we were talking about it, maybe like 1 or 2 times that we said. But I'm saying, moving into this new apartment, we didn't really have like, we something that we consciously said, and that's how the devil works. True, sometimes when the devil sees things, and you people are like, I actually really said it that I've not really had any issues, and
like, okay,
before you know it,
sprinkle
some things, and I mean, what I figured is, when we're having this conversation, what I figured is, when you are in marriage, these are 2 people that come from completely different backgrounds, with different experiences. I for one, I'm from a very open home with a very loving experience. My home was like home to everybody. I had uncles, aunties, people who live through my house, so my experiences are, way much different from, I mean, Kemato had similar experiences, where she had uncles.
I'm looking at you to say,
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about your experience, as I'm just saying generally, but in that you also had some experiences, like your dad leaving you. You didn't have like both parents to parent you throughout at some point, right? And so you had that kind of experience, and my experience is different, where I had both parents, and so these are 2 people coming from completely 2 different backgrounds. And like I mentioned earlier, the important thing is your heart, right? And so when we go into a conflict, I step back a bit and try to navigate through, or where am I going wrong in this conversation, or because most times it's always an issue of your mindset, or an issue of I'm right, you are wrong. That's really always the issue. Somebody's trying to prove that, I'm right.
For
in this
me, it's
situation.
never a case of I am right or I am wrong, because if it is for me, if it is for me, I wouldn't approach it from an angle of admitting when I think I must.
And that's one of that's one of the most beautiful thing I think that we share, because it's some people, you find that it's only one person that does the apology. Where, and most times the man always feels like I'm the one, because he's the head, I'm right.
But so how I address conflict when we tend to have conflict is, the problem is the problem. It has nothing, and I'm so grateful for that. That whenever there's any kind of misunderstanding, it's not about him. Like, how I feel about him does not change. Like, I've been able to separate the situation from the person. So this last time now, after the fight, she now sends me text, say, I love you. Say, I'm hurt, but I love you. I was hurt.
I'm like
my guy, how you treat me this way? I feel bad.
I say I love you too. And we don't not talk. It was the next day. We now talked about it, and I think it's important that people always talk about it.
So we always try to separate, and I felt like I
think
needed
that's very
to
powerful,
send him that message, because of how we left off the conversation. I didn't want him to feel like, because I really love Tunde, right?
Aww.
So when I went to the bedroom, I was processing everything, the conversations. I just wanted him to know how I felt. So I was like, I feel hurt, I feel misunderstood, but one thing I'm sure of is that I actually love you. So I'm gonna let it like that. And then he also like said the same thing. I'm sorry you feel hurt. I'm sorry if I don't understand you right now, but I love you as well. And truly, after that, we didn't talk to ourselves. But because the situation was still there. So, but I just said, let me just say, I love you, Shao, but this problem is there. We'll solve it. And then we were able to solve it, and it was good.
And like I said, I think that for me, one of the things that I also rely on is what I call the 90-10 rule. I know that there's a 80-20 rule.
80-20,
but for us
it's 90-10.
90-10.
Yeah.
And reason why
set the standard really high.
Yes. Really, and the reason why it's 90-10, and I'll explain what the 90-10 rule means. The reason why it's 90-10 is because I believe, and it also applies to so many areas of our lives too. I believe that most times, in a way, psychologically, humans are conditioned to negativity. So, for instance, if a negative gist happens now, and the way it will spread like wildfire,
Not social media.
because people want to hear negative stuff, like bad news, thrives more. And then we find that people always focus also on negative stuff. So point in case, I'm having issues with my wife, and it's in a moment, it's just a little thing, it's just is a spectacle, is a what is this seed, mustard seed in the spectrum of your life. And that's like, in fact, maybe I wish even reduce it to like 1%, because it's always a very small issue. It's like a small thing, just a misunderstanding based on, like I said earlier, your experiences, your background, your mindsets, which somebody is trying to prove you are wrong or you are right, and all of those things. And then there's this 90% of a glorious woman that will still make food for you even when people are fighting, that will still care for you, that will still love you, that will still has your best interest in mind, that will still wake you up tomorrow to do something or to do something nice, that still buy you your birthday gifts, that will still care for you, that will still take care of your kids, that will still, so why do I then now focus on that little misunderstanding? When in that very moment, I've refrained my mind, and that's one of the ways I solve conflict. Because the more you start to harbor hurt for your partner, the more like it's like a small wound that is not treated, just continue to expand. So while the first phase for me is, okay, this person doesn't hate me, this person really actually loves me, the person cares about me. It's not the same person that bought me this last birthday gift. It's not the same person that went out for me. It's not the person that when I was sick was there. The person that cooks for me. The person that gives me everything. And so I focus on that, and then I now circle back and say, okay, this issue, this 1% of an issue, or this 10% of an issue, what is causing it? What's the root cause of it? And then you find it out, and you get your partner, you guys talk about it. And at that point, it's the heart that matters, because you guys are here to solve a problem, not to expand the problem,
or try to prove that you are right.
So
there's something that I learned recently, that just because you say sorry doesn't necessarily mean you actually at fault.
So very, very true. It's actually even biblical.
So just because you say sorry, it's not because you actually doesn't mean you're actually at fault. But I'm also for listening to understand, not just listening to respond, or just saying, oh, I'm sorry, so we can just
so that we can move on.
Like we need to really have genuinely both partners involved have to open up their hearts to really want to solve the problem and then move on. And when you move on, if for any reason there's like a fresh misunderstanding, you're not now going back to
that place to say, oh,
or 2022.
that's how you did that year.
That June 14.
Give them dates
you
again.
said this, that.
I know that actually, talking about this June. So I think I won't say I have a bad behavior, but it's just the way maybe I am wired. When we have issues, I don't keep them to heart. Like I don't. Like even when you have an issue now, I'm not going to remember everything that happened in that experience. Especially if you hurt me, you do something bad, I'm not going to remember everything that happened in that experience. So this last time that we had our quarrel, I had to write out because I didn't want to. I wanted us to solve when we were going to solve it. I wanted to come with my facts correctly. I wanted to be able to address the issues properly. So I had to write out, the experience. Immediately we finished having, and everybody said, okay, and we went. I just write out the experience so that when I know, because I need to hold it to heart or anything, but when we're going to solve, which shouldn't take long, because the longer it takes, the more you are brooding on it. So the next day when we're going to talk about this, and as if we already said, oh, I'm sorry, I love you, and the next day we just have to talk about it genuinely, and we're able to move from it. So I think the 90-10 mindset is good. To think about your partner positively and to say, oh, this person actually loves me more.
Typical example. So I have a couple of pet peeves. One of my major pet peeves is waking up to dishes. Like I don't care even if it's 1 teaspoon. I do not want to see anything in the sink. Especially when I've cleaned up. Like it's really,
Why do I feel like I'm about to be dragged?
it really bothers me. Did you get? So
But this leaf plates, baby.
this is your story or my story. So this is what happens, right?
According to your example, I
So,
don't understand it.
When like, it's important that I
You
have
also
to give
finish my
receipts
street
now.
cred.
Wait
in the,
now.
this is
So-
what I used to do organization just leaf plates.
No, wait, hang on. So this is it. When we've had dinner, right? Tunde has this weird.
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes Tunde has this weird habit of he's feeling peckish. He wants to munch on something. That's when he will now go and say he wants to warm bread or
I know it's
something.
bread you're going to talk about.
You know, so the plate that he uses.
Just want a
for
small
that,
dish or something.
But I don't like it, and I've tried to, because it bothers me a lot. Like, it can just mess up my entire day. And when I wake up in the morning after my normal routine of praying, water, all of that, like, the next thing is, where's my tea? So when I step into the kitchen, I don't want anything that's keeping me away from having tea. But once I step into the kitchen and there's like plate or something, I can't even focus on making the tea. I just have to wash the plates, you know. So I've had that conversation with him several times that please, especially when the sink is clean, I don't want to see anything in the kitchen. But my guy, sometimes will do that.
But I'm doing better.
So one thing that I noticed that he started doing was, instead of putting it in the sink,
I'll leave it on the dining
we'll leave it
table.
on the dining table.
Yes, now, so that you don't
So
be angry.
again, that's enough for me to be mad. Like, why am I coming downstairs and I'm seeing plates from yesterday? Why?
Oh my
And that
God.
is where the 90-10 comes in.
Tell us.
So instead of me to now like be upset
Focus.
and get like talk to him, I'm like, why is this start nagging? I try to remember, okay, this same Tunu that left his plate here is the same person that folds my clothes, the same person that arranges my wardrobe, the same person that does this and does that.
I cleans the entire house.
Which one is the entire house?
Not the entire, the part of my
Part
house.
of the house. Cleans the house, supports
You know,
me.
supports you, take you to
he's
the
my
market.
friend. Yeah, he follows me to the market sometimes. Sometimes he will say, oh, let me help you cook. Then he will come into the kitchen, sit down. Then he will say, oh, I forgot my laptop, I'm coming. When he goes like that, that's the end. It's okay. So I just took it as, okay, this is his own way of
Oh my God.
acknowledging the fact that I don't like plates in the sink. Not to say that keeping it on the dining table makes me feel better. So let me just tell you now, because I don't actually ever talk about it. So let me just tell you, make it better.
I know, but I'm trying my best.
For
Maybe
me, I
this
feel
thing
like,
we're talking
okay,
about,
I can appreciate
we
the fact
both
that he
used to do it.
acknowledges. What do we do?
We do it together.
What's that?
Because if you take your late night snacks that you used to take, you used to leave your
Just-
plate. See, and sometimes cookies or
But it's upstairs now.
what's the difference? You leave it in the room upstairs.
Cookies, I can't finish
and that's
the whole
because
roll now. I
wait,
will leave it
no,
now.
I don't know about the plates that you use, and that's because
Which plates?
I mostly live downstairs and you mostly live upstairs. So you leave your plate upstairs.
No, baby, I don't agree.
But
I don't
anyways,
agree.
let's go back.
No,
to
baby, you are lying. How they say you otik paro?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Emma Paromo, yes.
Anyways, so I think that the 90-10 rule is just focusing on the person's positives in that time of your conflict, and then trying to say, okay, this conflict is not really about the person, because most times people take it out on their partners, when there are issues. Reverse, sometimes the issue might be something that an external person is causing. It might even be a child, so look back and say, okay, where is this issue actually coming from? It might be the person's experience, it might be an external factor, it can be whatever it is, and you guys look at that, whatever that issue is, and try to solve it.
Nice.
We hope you guys love this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend, comment. If you like this video, it gets to more people. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Ciao.
Peace out.